Thanks for staying with us. So, a devastating attack on the Yelwata and Daudu communities in Benue State, Guma local government area has claimed approximately 200 lives, including women and children, also internally displaced persons, the IDPs. 5 security personnel were also killed in these attacks. The assault, allegedly carried out by terrorist headsmen, occurred despite prior warnings of an impending attack. Armed invaders overwhelmed local youths and police, then targeted the vulnerable IDPs seeking refuge in market stalls. Many families were reportedly killed and burned in their homes and the market, with children and toddlers amongst most of the victims. The attack left numerous and others injured. Now, what are your, I don't want to say what your thoughts, because I need Nigerians to express their pain with this, especially because we've had government year in, year out reassure Nigerians that they were on top of the attacks, that attacks had reduced, and they had the security architecture was functional, such that it was reducing and they were winning the war against terror. That's the rhetoric we've been hearing come from government year in, year out, and even month in, month out. But what are your thoughts on what's been done? And let's even start with the victims, because Very Dark Man recently also went there. We saw his video, was very graphic. We saw burnt bodies, totally, completely to ashes. And it was quite painful to see that this occurred in Nigeria, the biggest black nation on earth. It's quite painful. But let's open our phone lines. You can call us on 021-635-2013, 090-241-63440. You can send us your messages on YouTube and on Twitter. We'll be happy to read your thoughts. Let me come to the ladies. Because you are here every single day. We talk about insecurity for years. When you heard this news, how did it come to you?
It was more like, again, like not again should we experience something like this. Not again. It's sad is an understatement to express how disheartening this is. But this is not the first time. And this was not a shocking, like it's not something that they did not expect will happen. So for me, it's worrisome that people will say they are going to attack, and they attacked. This has happened. I'm seeing over 25 people killed in April 2022. We are seeing killings, 40 killed in May this year, over 100 killed now in June this year. It is back to back. And the locals are suffering. And some people seem to be carrying out these attacks and they're getting away with it. So it begs the question of where exactly should we be having a state of emergency declared? Where should we be having a state of emergency declared, if not a place where people are dying back to back? Why are we not having that kind of level of attention given to Benue State killing? Because Benue State killing has economics of war. There are beneficiaries of the crisis going on there. Whatever it is, we study the economics of the war, study those that are benefiting from the war so that we can effectively resolve this. While we are waiting for government, governor, senator, House of Rep, police, military to sort it out, another 100 have died, houses have been razed. So what would affect? When we talk about agricultural sustainability, we know Benue is food basket of the nation. The reason we have a food crisis majorly in Nigeria, aside from the flooding that takes place a few times, is that Benue farmers cannot farm. Benue farmers cannot farm. So if they cannot, if we're having internally displaced, not based on war, not based on terrorists, but based on farmer-header clash, which has been going on for time immemorial, can we not resolve this issue? There is a history to this. It is not in the past 5 years. This is not a case of the government to say they did not know what was happening or what's going to happen. We know what is happening. Can we then, if a willing government to resolve this, or declare some emergency and let those that can, the military step in and take over?
Let me hear you.
I started my day watching VDM's video where he was spotlighting the death, and I saw bodies burnt beyond recognition. I saw bones. I saw skulls of human beings burnt beyond this, and something just broke in me. I'm asking myself, this is 2025. With everything that the world is doing, with every technology that's coming, people are improving themselves. Different countries are getting ahead. We still have this. We have military personnel. We have gadgets. We have
technology,
intelligence, artificial intelligence. We are using some of these things, and we still have this. And I got to find out that they were warned that these people were coming. So if you're not warned and you were taken unaware, that's a different situation. You had a form of prior knowledge that these people were coming to carry out this attack. And they actually came, carried out the attack, succeeded and left. And we're still having this conversation today. Haba. So for me, I served in Benue State, Makurdi to be precise. Yes, it's a very peaceful town, peaceful state, that you will not believe such a thing would be happening here. And, you know, tracing it back to the history, they've always had warring factions. They've always had people who believed they were more superior than others. I'm not asking, what are the community heads doing? What are the local chiefs doing? What is the government of this state doing to ensure that they find a way to dialogue and bring peace between these people? So it's a different matter if we had bandits who were coming in from outside, or, you know, the headers, you know, those very wicked headers who come in from time to time. This one is, they are warring factions who are dragging whatever it is that they are dragging.
That's been for years.
Farmer header crisis.
Yeah, it's been ongoing for a very long time, until today we have not found a way to have a dialogue. We've not found a way to ask, okay, what is it that you people want? How can we meet halfway and solve the issue? And then innocent children, wives, mothers, fathers have to pay the price with their life because we cannot sit down and have a conversation. We need to do better.
You know, some of the best comments on Twitter, you know, somebody who had posted, said many families were locked up and burnt inside their bedrooms.
Yeah.
The group said in the post, so many bodies were burnt beyond recognition. We saw that on the videos. Said hundreds of people were injured and were without adequate medical care, while dozens were still missing. As of this was about Friday and Saturday. Amnesty International said the Nigerian authorities must immediately end the almost daily bloodshed in Benue State and bring the actual perpetrators to justice. The horrifying killing of over 100 people by gunmen that invaded Yelwata from late Friday into the early hours of Saturday shows that currently that security measures government claims to be implementing in the state are not working. Many people are still missing, aside dozens injured and left without adequate medical care. Many families were locked up and burnt inside their bedrooms. Amnesty International has been documenting the alarming escalation of attacks across Benue State, where gunmen have been on a killing spree with utter impunity. These attacks have been causing massive displacement and many affect food security, as the majority of victims are farmers.
Can we talk about the fact that, you know, I mentioned this has been happening. There was a report by the Catholic Diocese last year that in 2023, between January and December, they had over 119 attacks and over 500 people died in the attacks. So this is not one-off. It is, and they know. You know, when we don't solve a problem, when we don't solve a problem, it expands.
Yes.
We know that we are having an issue that can be resolved if we go back to the document on Ruga. If we go back to, we now have a ministry for grazing. If we solve that problem, we will know that any grazer we see on the road, you are a criminal. But right now, innocent headers are being attacked because they feel they might be part of the killer headers. So we have the killer headers, we have innocent headers, and in between, many lives are being lost. Farmers' lives are being lost, and the innocent headers are being lost. We saw what happened a few months back in Edet State, where some people felt we want to help ourselves. The headers have been killing our farmers, and they killed innocent headers. Same way, this is also happening where you are killing farmers. The killer headers are killing farmers, and somebody will want to take a reprisal attack one day. It will be innocent ones that get to be killed. Can we solve this problem and ensure that we separate where you are taking care of animals? We are old enough, as in, like, I don't get it. We are a mature enough economy, a mature enough nation to decide that farmers farmland. This is the land for farming. This is the land for grazing. Don't cross over each other. Why are we still fighting after many years, decades of this same issue? Yeah. If we really want to solve the problem, President Buhari said, this fight predates my presence as a president.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So our current president can say, this fight predates me. Who will solve this?
Who will now solve the matter? Yeah, so for me, I would like to also understand the security architecture of Benue State, because I know it's really like a small, they have landmass, but they are
small communities.
Yeah, they are small communities, and I do not think that they have enough security personnel in the state as a whole to sort of forestall what is happening. Is there any way other states can begin to come together to help, to support them? Do they need to send manpower? Do they need to send security personnel to them? What exactly do they need? We need to have this information. The Benue State governor needs to come out to say, these are some of the things that we need to be able to at least forestall this, to stop this to a certain level while we're still having those conversations. We cannot just allow them. After all, it doesn't concern me, it's not my state. When these governors forum, that they always do their meetings and share their money, when they go there, what are some of the things that they discuss? Yes. Benue, I'm crying, no, hold on now. What did they discuss there? I'm crying, I need help. What is your state going to give to me to support this? We need to come together. This is one nation.
You know, the president had instituted this regional developmental commissions.
Yeah.
Hopefully, those commissions eventually get to that point where they are supporting with either
personnel,
security. They know how Amotekun and Lagos State everybody can have some kind of regional policing at some point. So these are things that needs to be done and drawn up, and the framework must be put in place to implement them properly.
Morayo.
But I mean, I was reading an article here 2 weeks ago, actually. This is not recent, where the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Olukade, temporarily relocated to Makurdi in Benue State due to the incessant killings of innocent villagers by herders and militia groups. Now, the service had made this disclosure on their X handle. Unfortunately, members of the new terrorist group, Mahmuda, have reportedly killed 3 more villagers. This was 2 weeks ago. The point I'm trying to make is that if the Chief of Army Staff was there 2 weeks ago, and the idea really was to see what they can do to improve the...
And then this happened.
And this happened. Then exactly, there's something fundamentally wrong with our approach to this issue. And this is quite painful. We're going to go on a very short break. When I come back, I'd like to open our phone lines for Nigerians to call in, especially from that region. We'd like to hear your thoughts and see what the government can do to forestall this from happening again. 200 lives too many. This is a national disaster.
Too many.
Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.